In this video, we're going to be talking about equalizers and processors and how you can make them work together. A lot of people have messaged me asking, hey Tim, how do I connect my equalizer to my DSP or two equalizers to my DSP? Well, I'm going to show you right now. This is the Timpano TPT EQ7. Most 7-band equalizer are the same. You have an input and you have outputs. For simplicity, we're only going to use the main in, which is going to come from your radio and go into the equalizer. That will give your equalizer signal. And on the outputs, we're going to use either the front or the rear. It really doesn't matter, and you don't need to use both. You just need to use one, okay? So you're going to have a left and right signal coming into the equalizer, and you're going to have a left and a right signal coming out of the equalizer. We're going to show you first how to connect one equalizer to your DSP. All starts with your radio. You have a radio, and that's where you get the signal from. You're going to come from the RCA output of your radio to the main in of the equalizer. You're going to go from the output of the equalizer to the input of the DSP. Now, this equalizer is going to control every single output on your DSP. So this is basically for fine-tuning your entire system. There is no way to control individual components with this except if you use the sub out and go directly to your subwoofer amplifier, then you can use the sub volume sort of like a bass knob. Other than that, this way with the one EQ with your DSP, you're going to be controlling your whole system. So now let's take a look at connecting more than one equalizer to your DSP. How many equalizers can we connect to one DSP? Well, the answer is two. Why is it two? Because you only have two inputs on the DSP to be able to use the routing feature, okay? So you're gonna have one equalizer on A and one equalizer on B. Then in the routing, let's say you have two equalizers and you wanna control one equalizer on your highs, okay? So you want your tweeters and drivers. So you're gonna have 1 and 2 as your tweeters and drivers. So you will in the routing set A to 1 and 2. And then you'll set B 2, 3, and 4 if that's where you're going to have your mid-range or your mid-bass or whatever on the other equalizer that's going to go into B. So let's show you how to connect this. We have two TPT EQ7s. We're going to take a look at the back. Now you do have battery, remote, and ground just like the DSP. So what I'll do is I'll run 3 cables here, connect to the first one, and then I'll just jump them in a loop 1, 2, 3 to connect the other one so they come out at the same time. They're running off the same power, ground, and remote. Again, we're going to use the main in and we're going to use just the front out. Okay. Now I don't have enough cables here to demonstrate the main in. So basically, I'm going to put the splitters, and you're gonna know that an RCA cable is going to go in there from the radio. So let's put the splitters on the main in. This is where you're going to get your signal from the radio. Okay, so this is where you would put the left and the right from your radio. So you're going to have now 2 lefts and 2 rights. These are going to end up being merged when you put it into the DSP, so you're not going to have a stereo signal, but you're at least going to have both left and right signals. So let's say that this is the right and this is the left. So you can see here we have a right and a left. Okay, so you're going to take the right and you're going to put it in the right on each of the equalizers. Okay, so they both get a right signal. Now we'll do the same thing with the left. You're going to have the right coming from your radio and the left coming from your radio to plug in here. And the equalizers need to see a left and a right. Let's put the left in now. It's a little better. I just plugged in an RCA here. So like I said, we have a left and a right. And it's going to each of the equalizers. Okay, so we have the left going to both equalizers. And we have the right going to both equalizers using the splitter. Now let's show you how to connect this to the DSP. And your main in comes from the radio. You have a left and a right for each equalizer. So you're going to put one splitter on the up and the down, and the other one on the same thing on the other side. Now when you go to the output, you're going to have one splitter for each EQ, right? Because you want to individually control it. So this one is on the left and the right of the top EQ. And this one is on the left and the right of the bottom EQ. It now becomes a mono signal, okay? Then you're going to connect those to the RCA that goes into the DSP. So let's plug those in. So I removed the inputs just so you can get a better visualization of the output and how it connects to the DSP. So like I said, we have one equalizer with the splitter going to a mono signal to one RCA. Then we have the other splitter going to a mono signal to the other RCA. Now you have inputs A and inputs B. This is going to control the first equalizer. This will control the second equalizer. So once again, if you want this EQ to do your highs, your tweeters, drivers, you will go in and whatever outputs you have going to your tweeters and drivers, you're going to go into the routing feature and you're going to set those outputs to only A or whatever equalizer you want to use. Say it's this one. This one goes to B. So whatever you want to control with this equalizer, you do the routing to B for that output. If you have any other questions, if you want this explained in any more detail, just send a message, leave a comment, share this with your friends. Again, you can only put 2 equalizers on one DSP. If you want to do 3 equalizers or 4, you need a second DSP to have 1 or 2 more inputs. Thanks for watching.